Hi everybody, it's Amanda with 40 Weeks to Fabulous, and I am here on December 26th, 2016, reporting to you from my closet as usual, because it is the quietest room in the house. So, today should have been the 40th week. It should be my final broadcast, but it's not going to be. And let me tell you why. I had reported to you several weeks back that I was going to have weight loss surgery and I was going to lose a ton of weight, and I was going to have this big surprise that I was going to unveil today, and unfortunately none of that happened. I went to have my surgery and scheduled it for October 24th. As you guys know, over the summer I had a number of health issues that had come up, and decided that after all those scares with my heart and abdomen and all that other stuff that had occurred, the problems with my knee, I was just going to go ahead and have this surgery, because it was obvious that even though I had lost some weight on my own, it wasn't fast enough and wasn't making a great impact on my life, quality-wise. So let's get this done. And I had all the qualifications for the surgery, so let's just submit the request and have it done. So I did everything that the doctors asked me to do over the 6-month period. I scheduled the surgery for October 24th, and then went to see the doctor 2 weeks before the surgery and started my liquid diet. And 1 week before the surgery, I get a phone call that says, we have some bad news for you. Your insurance won't approve the surgery. So call the insurance company and they tell me, well, we can have the medical director here review the claim with your doctor and put it in for what they call a peer-to-peer review, which they did. The Friday before the surgery, now remember I'm on my liquid diet already, Friday before the surgery they call me and tell me that they're still not going to approve it, that I can do a paper appeal of my own as a patient to them to reconsider. So I was very upset over that decision and decided, okay, fine. They want an appeal, they're going to get an appeal. I did a very long 3-page letter explaining why I thought it would be best for me to have this procedure, and decided to send that in with 250 pages of medical documentation to show everything that I have done over the last 8 years that I could find a record of to try to lose weight, including having the lap band surgery in 2008, but obviously not being successful with it, which is typical. Only 5% of patients that have that procedure done actually lose enough weight. At any rate, they still denied it. December 1st, I got a notification back to say, sorry, but we don't feel that it's medically necessary and we're not going to pay for the procedure. So I have the option now to appeal to the North Carolina State Insurance Commission. I'm not exactly sure if that's the right name of the place that I'm going to be appealing to, but off the top of my head, that's what I think it's called. So I've spent the last couple weeks procrastinating, actually putting together that appeal, other than contacting my doctors and saying, look, I need some help. They're saying it's not medically necessary, even though to be medically necessary, it just needs to be something that would improve my life or improve a disease that I have. And I have diabetes that has not been improved by the lap band. And I have obesity, which is now, as of 2013, on the list of diseases and not improved enough with the surgery. And I'm now on 5 medications for my diabetes, and the extra weight is not helping my knee. So I'm working on that. But I was very discouraged and ready to give up. And then something happened this week that has made me change my mind and really lit a fire under me. And that is that my friend Dwayne passed away this week. If you're friends with me on my personal page, you know who he is. He and I dated in college, broke up, and then dated again in my 20s, and then broke up again, but remained very, very good friends. He loved my children very much, especially my oldest daughter, because obviously we dated when she was younger, and considered her daughter to himself, and even called her that often. At any rate, he had a lot of health problems, and I'm trying not to cry, I'm sorry. It's still fresh, it's still new, and he was supposed to be here yesterday for Christmas dinner, and it's just really upsetting that he didn't make it here. But he had a lot of health problems, and had he had the weight loss surgery, which was an argument that we went back and forth on with his doctors and his insurance company, if he had had it done, he might still be here, because maybe his health issues, the diabetes and kidney problems that he was having, may have improved a great deal to the point where he could have lived much longer. But unfortunately, he's not here now. So after losing him and spending a couple days mourning his death, they say that there's different stages of grief, and now I'm in the anger stage. I'm in the damn, lit a fire under me, ready to kill somebody stage over this whole situation, because I don't see how the insurance company doesn't see how much this could help. And if my health keeps declining, it's just going to cost them more money to keep treating the diseases, rather than either send them into remission or have them go away altogether. But now I'm pissed off. And I'm ready to fight the good fight. And I mean, really gung-ho, go out there, do what I need to do. And it reminded me of a couple of things. One is, I happened to look over earlier today, and I saw Play-Doh sitting on the table. Oh, and by the way, I'm sorry, no makeup or anything today. Way too much crying and stuff over the last week to even consider putting on makeup. My eyes are all, underneath it's just awful. But anyway, I'm sure you can't blame me. But Play-Doh. Let's talk about Play-Doh for a second. So, if you don't know the story of Play-Doh, Play-Doh almost didn't exist. Can you imagine being a kid and not playing with Play-Doh? My goodness. But Play-Doh came about because the McVicker brothers had this Kutol wall cleaner, which was essentially just colorless Play-Doh. And their company was going to go under because it was actually used just to take soot and coal residue and whatever off the walls and wallpaper, when there were less efficient heating sources. But as more efficient heating sources came to be, there was no need for this stuff. So what were they going to do? Well, one of their sister-in-laws, Kay Zhu Fall, and I forget which brother it was, but Kay Zhu Fall said, look, I take this stuff to school with me. I'm a teacher, and, I take them to school, and the kids like it a lot better than hard modeling clay because, hard modeling clay dries out. It's not easy to mold, and they love to play with this. So why don't we just color this stuff and change the name and make it more appealing to them? And they came up with the name Play-Doh. And it just reminded me is that sometimes when you're ready to give up, that's when making the smallest change can make the biggest difference. So I didn't fail at this 40 weeks. I made a lot of little changes, which have certainly made a difference in my life. And it made a difference in my children's life. And I will continue to make little changes to make things better. And I actually give Play-Doh to all of my clients because it's something that they can put somewhere to remind themselves that, sometimes it only takes a little change to make a big difference in your life. The other thing that I reminded myself of this week is that I have a tattoo on my back now that is a further reminder that just because things get tough doesn't mean that they should end or that you should give up. So I have a semicolon as the body of my butterfly. And the semicolon movement, if you don't know much about that, essentially says, sometimes you feel like you're coming to the end of something. You can take a pause, take a deep breath, but keep going. Don't let it end. And the butterfly, because, the caterpillar thought, just when it's thought rather that it was at the end, it became a butterfly, which means that, sometimes you think that things are ugly and messy and don't look great, but next thing you know, it's the most beautiful thing that you've ever seen. So it doesn't take much to make that happen. You just have to make little changes and eventually you'll get that butterfly. So where was I going with this? My 40 weeks should be up today. What I'm going to do, though, instead of just extending the 40 weeks, is I'm just going to retool it. And what I want to do is over the next week actually come out with a week-by-week plan of what I'm going to do each week to start this process all over again. Because I obviously need to make some big changes to make things better. And I'm going to say to you, thank you for being patient with me and to continue to support me. And I appreciate all the condolences I got this week from friends and family that heard about my friend's passing and were there for me. And for those of you that keep saying, keep going, keep working, I really appreciate it. And to please stay tuned, because it's going to be big and it's going to be huge. When this all gets done, when I lose enough weight, you will see something spectacular. Not only will not only will I be healthier and happier, hopefully, but there is a goal, something on my bucket list that I've always wanted to do, but I can't or couldn't until I lost enough weight, because you have to be under a certain weight for these things to occur. So you'll see it. You'll see what happens. So please stay tuned. I will be posting next Sunday night, Monday morning, the new and improved 40 Weeks to Fabulous program, and I ask you to keep me accountable. I appreciate that everybody had some well wishes and stuff for me at the beginning, but this time I need you to kick my butt and keep me in line. So please do that. I guess that's it. So I hope everybody has a happy holiday season and a good new year. And look out for me next week. All right? Thanks again. Bye-bye.